Welcome back, everyone. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the first things you should do, especially when you go ahead and buy a Samsung Galaxy S22. That kind of rhymed. And I'll be honest, there's a lot of different things you should probably consider. The first thing I would highly recommend doing as soon as you pick up your Galaxy S22 is to actually update your phone. Now, if you're buying it brand new, even if you bought it day one, there's probably already an update available for your device. So what you can do is you can make your way over to your actual settings right here. You want to scroll down until you see software update, which is down here. And all you want to do is go ahead and click download and install the update, which is right up there. Now, all you have to do is go ahead and wait until the update panel goes through. And at this point, you should be good to go. As you can see, it tells me that my software is up to date. But if you're watching this many weeks or even like 2 years later, well, I would probably recommend going through here, making sure you're on, at least up to date on a more recent version of software, and you should be good to go for the most part. Now, that's the first thing. There's another thing I would recommend doing, which is honestly so cool, and that's actually LED notifications. So in some cases, you can actually go ahead and get notified via your LED up top. If you actually want to go ahead and set that up, which I would highly recommend, you want to go back into your settings application right here. You want to go and click on notifications, which is right here. And then you want to go ahead and click on brief pop-up settings. Now we can click here, and right up there where it says edge lighting style, what we can do is we can go and click there. And what we can do is go ahead and set it up to where if we get a notification and our screen is off, well, we can go ahead and get a little LED notification, something like that, and it'll go ahead and set it up for us, which is so awesome. And I would recommend doing this to any Samsung phone you get. And that's one of the coolest things about having a Samsung phone is you can get notifications like that. Now, there's a lot of other effects you can go and set up too, so I'd recommend going through here and figuring out whichever ones you like. You can also click on the color option and go ahead and change up the colors of that little notification up there too, and you can set it to automatic. You can click on advanced, and you can change a lot of other things right there too. So that's another thing I would highly recommend checking out, and I almost always have it turned on any Samsung phone that I go ahead and get. Another thing I'd recommend doing is turning on dark mode. Now this is pretty basic, I think everyone knows this by now, but an OLED display like this one, a dynamic AMOLED display, you actually have the capability of saving a little bit of battery life when you do set up dark mode. So what we can do here is we can go and click on our display option right here, and we can go ahead and turn on our dark mode just like this. And not only will it turn our settings and basically all of our elements dark, but it will turn pretty much everything dark too. So if we make our way to our phone app, that's dark, messages app, that's dark too, and it's very cool. Now for the basis of these videos, I typically just keep it on light mode, just because it looks better on the video, but it's still a really cool thing that we have the option of doing, which is so awesome. Now another thing I'd recommend doing is actually speccing out your keyboard. Now what does that mean? Well, essentially Samsung, one of the best things about Samsung phones in my opinion, is the keyboard. There is so much capability behind this keyboard, you guys have literally no idea. So first of all, you have the standard keyboard, everything here. My favorite thing is that you do have the numbers right here, so you don't even have to click on the numbers thing anymore. The numbers are always up top, which is cool. Now you do have your options up here. You can click on the emojis if you want and choose different emojis that you can go and have. Now going back to our keyboard, we have our clipboard. So this will show us pretty much everything that we had on our specific phone from before. So you can see I just took some screenshots, and if we ever copied anything, well, we can go and copy it and paste it here too, which is so cool. Now going back, we have this specific option, which is just different modes. So if you want a one-handed mode, your floating keyboard, you can have that too. I typically just keep it how it is. You can do speech to text, which is cool. But if you click on the settings icon, there is so much stuff we can customize within this keyboard. Now, personally, I like, kind of customizing my keyboard because I use my keyboard a lot. It's one of the main things I use. So you can go in there and kind of customize it. But if you click on the three dots, we have a lot more options. We have, a little bit more of a breakdown of the top options. You have YouTube emojis, but you also have the ability of changing the size of your keyboard. So if you go and click on keyboard size, you can go ahead and have it a little bit bigger. If we go and move it, we can go smaller, bigger, just like so. And it's honestly so cool that we have this type of capability. So that's another thing I'd recommend doing. You can go and customize your keyboard however you want to. Now another thing I'd recommend doing is to actually enable gestures on your phone. Now you can see I don't have the nav bar at the bottom. Majority of people just keep the nav bar where they have to click the buttons, but that's kind of like an outdated way, and to be honest, it does take up a little bit of your screen, and I'd prefer just having the whole entire screen. So to do this, what you want to do is you want to go back into your settings, you want to click on display, you want to scroll down into navigation bar, which is right here. And all you want to do is go and turn on these swipe gestures. Now what's going to happen here is it's going to basically enable the swipe gestures. And basically, instead of clicking the home button like you do at the top, to get into your recents, you swipe to the side. And to pretty much go back, you just grab your phone to the side and you just kind of go back there, which is so awesome. Now another thing I'll show you is actually how to remap the side button on your phone. So if you go and hold down the side button, you can see it opens up Bixby. I personally don't like using any type of voice assistant, and I typically just keep them off. So if you want to go ahead and remap that button on the side, what we can do is we can make our way back into our settings icon. We'll come right here. So what I typically do is I just go ahead and I click on the search button up there. So I go and click on the search button up here, and you can just type in side key. So go and type in side, and usually it'll already come up. So you want to go and click on that side key option, and it's going to go ahead and show you exactly where it's located. You want to click on it, and what we can do is we can go ahead and remap this button. So instead of pressing and holding and opening up the Bixby button, what we can do is we can, instead of, we can press and hold it to power off our specific phone. So we can hold it down, and you'll see that it actually will show up the power off menu too. But we can also have it to where we double press the side key. We can either, quick launch the camera, or we can open up a specific application. So if I double click the side key, and if I want to turn on the flashlight, well, I can have that opportunity. And there's a lot of other options here too. So there's a lot of capability right there, which is really, really cool. And I actually do like that a lot. Now, another cool thing within our specific Samsung phone is actually wireless power share. So your Samsung Galaxy S22 has the ability of wirelessly charging other phones if you want to. Now, if you like it or if you don't like it, you can always turn it on or off, which is so cool. And what you can do is you can click on the search button again, and you can type in wireless power share. Now, by the time you're done typing wireless, you'll already see this little option come up. So all you want to do is go and click on wireless power sharing, and it'll go ahead and pull up this menu. And what you can do is scroll down to where it says wireless power sharing. You can click here, and all you want to do is go ahead and enable this specific feature. Now, what it's going to tell you, it says charge the battery, so I have to be at least 30% to do this. So basically, you can keep this on, and what's going to happen is you can wirelessly power share a bunch of different devices. You can, do an Apple Watch, AirPods, tons of other things, which is so awesome. So it shows you a little brief demo of how to basically do it. And that's a really cool thing that I typically always kind of do. And that's something I would honestly recommend you to do as well. Now, there's a couple other things here and there that I think a majority of you may already know. Things like, closing out all your apps in the, background. I would recommend doing that. Installing Google Camera is a really cool option too, but that's a little bit more complicated. And there's so many things just within the camera itself. I mean, there's endless opportunities. If you scroll all the way over, you have your mode option. I'd recommend getting familiar with this specific place as well. But ultimately, those are the main things. I will tell you another thing. I would always recommend keeping your 120 hertz refresh rate on if you want, unless you want to save some battery life. So if you click on display, and if you go and scroll down into motion smoothness, I would recommend keeping this to adaptive, because by doing that, it will always keep it at 120 hertz, or mostly keep it at 120 hertz. Sometimes it'll go lower, but I always prefer that, and it makes things look so much smoother on my Galaxy S22. And it's one of the best features about owning one of the newer Samsungs is because they have a 120 hertz panel. So that pretty much covers up a majority of the things that you should probably do. Best tricks and tips, or if you want to call it, for your S22. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.